sent some uh, pictures unsolicited to me, and I had to let my significant other know. It caused an entire issue.
Who,
Right?
Links?
Didn't he? Yeah. And then I saw on this show, she just dropped and said she never did nothing like that ever. She was she would never do something like that. So I had to be petty. I had to bring you up. Had to bring you up.
Am I the
Yeah,
top?
she did.
Am I the top op
You're the top op. I don't know. This is the
against
thing. She be
Links?
and liking you, and then liking you, and then y'all be good, then not be good. You're the only one I know that she really, you get her going. So I had to bring it up.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah,
myself that
yeah.
way, but that's fine. Can you cam up by any chance so I could show you on my stream too? Kick.com/ThorpTube. If
I
anybody wants to
am.
say hi.
I'm on mine. I don't think it's gonna work though, cause I'm streaming.
Oh, okay.
Is it gonna work? Hold
Let's
on, let's
see.
see.
Let's see. Let's find out.
I don't know if it's gonna work the same. I don't know. No, I don't think it's gonna work.
Okay.
Don't mind
No
on
worries.
yours.
It'll be delayed. It's
Yeah.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No,
Yeah.
no, no worries.
But anyway, so I brought you up here because she had did this stream and she had said some things about you. I don't know if you know. She said some mean things about you.
I have
Very
heard.
ignorant.
I have heard that
Yeah.
Lynx said that I told her that I only have sex with my dad sometimes.
Which is very odd conversation to have with her in the in private. But hey, what are you gonna do, right?
Like, I mean, I just wanted to say, it's not as often as people think. It's only Mondays and Thursdays. You know what I mean? No, I of course, I
Yeah.
never had that conversation with her. I've had 2 private calls with her, but I don't really think Lynx talking shit about me is about her hating me. What I want to bring the whole Lynx conversation to is a big point about Lynx that a lot of people are missing, which I am not saying to hurt her or insult her. I really am not. But Lynx is legally retarded. She has severe fetal alcohol syndrome. I'm not saying that as a diss. She's legitimately
you're not.
disabled. So I think so I've recently been trying to bring that to light because I think what Keemstar did with her for like 5 reasons, including that one, is heinous, and she has a case against him legally and possibly criminally. And I think the reason that Lynx has been talking shit about me is because she feels like I'm making fun of her for her disability. I'm not trying to do that, but I understand she's sensitive about that topic, and she feels like I'm laying it on too thick. So that's my explanation for her recent hostility towards me. I really haven't been hostile, and I even personally apologized to her because I didn't understand the situation she was in. I made the same mistake you're making of calling her a hoe and saying she's like a lying female on the internet. I get that, but I just think in her specific situation, it's different. That's my take.
Look, this was the main issue. Well, besides not the main one. The main one was the issue she caused in my life. You know what I mean? But the other thing is that you gotta understand, like the whole thing, like the dynamic between like how we even linked up for real is because she wanted to go at Keem. She had a problem with Keem, and a lot of people were harassing her, and nobody believed her about the doxing and all that. So I would be like, yeah, sure, I don't rock with Keem anyway. So yeah, let's shoot at Keem anyway. I'll bring you up if you want to air him out. Perfectly fine with that, right? So that's how it all happened. But that now to see where we are, like she almost got me to shoot at that Lord Rush dude. Didn't do anything. Didn't tell me, but I told her I'm gonna go live and talk about it. Almost had me gun at this dude for no reason. She already knew that he didn't do it. Still didn't say anything.
So wait. What happened there? What happened there was when her nudes got leaked. They did get leaked. I thought at first it was a fake. I believe it's real, but it got leaked by somebody pretending to be Lord Rush. She thought it was Lord Rush. She told everybody, "It's Lord Rush. Can you defend me from what he's doing?" I think something like that. And then you're claiming she told you that, and then she didn't. She learned it wasn't Lord Rush, but she didn't tell you before you went against him, which is kind of like
I almost did.
In your like, and that would kind of suck because he's a wealthy chatter. To be honest, he's a pay pig. So to go against some, like, you're intertwined with lolcow stuff, to go against a pay pig and accuse him of a sexual crime, which revenge porn is, when she knew that he didn't do it, you're saying kind of screwed you over. Am I right? That's your
And almost. It
problem
could
about
have,
it?
and I ain't like that because I've only been stand up to her. I've only been stand up, especially when it came to the doxing. Everyone hated her. Don't trust her. Cool. That's fine. But right is right. I mean, she ain't do it. She ain't do it. And I'll never walk back and say, like, oh, I'll never walk that back. She really never did any of that stuff until she sent it to you, whatever the numbers or whatever.
What do you
Until
mean?
She sent those to you. That was
What do you mean?
the what are they called? Mommy milk? No, not mommy milk. What are they called? The girls and the milker girls. What are they?
Mafia milkers?
Yeah. She sent the whole like Rolodex of their names or numbers and all that.
Yeah, she sent me a bunch of people's numbers. Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
What is your point about that? What do you mean? Like, what? How does that?
I said that was the only time that I've ever seen her do that. That's what I'm saying. That was besides that point. Every time before she was accused of, she never did. Yeah, I got it sent to me.
Okay.
That I'm like, did you do this? You sent this? She's like, yeah, I gave him the grace, and she ended up showing him on her stream or something like that. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I didn't know about that. But that was the only other time. But so I would stick up for her for everything else or whatever. And then she just this whole she was playing victim about the nudes thing, and that then turned into I'm gonna sell them. But you're not saying that to me. You're crying to me. I know. Hey, I said it again. You're not selling it to me, or you're not selling it to me. You're not telling me that you're selling them and you're happy about the outcome. You're crying and telling me come kill everybody that's doing this, and I didn't like that. And then, but I was still whatever. Do what you want to do. I don't like being played, and I don't like you. You're not about to make me look retarded. No, you're not about to play me low. You're not about to play me, and I ain't like none of that. And then I ain't like how she was treating my girl. Obviously, she was disrespectful to her as well. So I ain't like none of that. And now seeing this Keemstar stuff, you don't get it. The girl would cry in my DMs. Not just type cry, voice note cry that Keem is ruining her life. And then I hear you say, well, I did it all for, to get your attention. Oh, I did it all for the... Now, Keem looks like a creep.
Hold on a second, because I'm just not quite familiar with this. She DM'd you at what point saying that Keemstar was ruining her life? Like, what are you referencing?
What point?
Throughout it? Well, she's not wrong. I mean, she's not wrong. He has been, like, trying in every way he can to cut her off from her main supply of income, which is the fans she garnered on LolCal Live. Like, she's not wrong about that. But I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah. She's been complaining to you about him, and are you saying you're like, but, I mean, you were sexting him? Is that, like, kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. What? Oh, you're saying about
You're saying you were crying, like,
crying.
Yeah,
you're crying. But the first
King,
time you got to talk to, you're taking your clothes off and then letting them... want them to glaze your face. No, listen, all that stuff is whatever. I get it. Keem looks like a creep. I know you hate him. We'll get to why you hate him. We'll talk about all that. But I get it. But at the end of the day, they got the Brantley's okay with it. He's okay with it. And she did not have to do it. And I'm not about to listen to her act like a victim. I ain't gonna hear this power dynamic. I'm not rocking with it.
Okay. Can I push back on that a little bit? I will defend me lady. I'm here in white. I'm here to defend my lady, okay? I by no means, I was not a Linx fan until I learned about her a little bit more. And I do think that she was genuinely a victim of the Keemstar thing. I can lay it out for you, okay? There's 5 reasons why.
5. Got 'em.
Yeah. Number 1, obviously, she is disabled. Cognitively, she's legally retarded, severe fetal alcohol. And the reason that she doesn't come across that way is because, as she outlined in Steven's stream that you were playing a clip of earlier, she went to specific classes where people would help her to, develop the social skills of, like, a cognitively fully functioning person to make her seem less like, to help her fit in more. Like somebody with a speech impediment, but obviously in a very different sense. Okay, so she does pass, and that's good for her. But Keemstar knew that she literally had a cognitive disability, which is, like, I'm sorry, but getting a retarded girl to show you her tits is not a flex. That's fucking gross. Okay? And I do think that she was used by him in that situation. I don't think that she's fully aware of all of the manipulations and like social games going on, especially with a very manipulative person who's much older than her, at least for multiple factors. But that's number one, okay? I do think that legitimately makes her a victim. Even if she sent them, okay? Because number two, okay, you have to understand, Keemstar is not only her former employer, but I have a clip of her saying that he had been sort of saying that if she works hard enough, she could get back on LolCal Live. Okay, so he's her former employer who has been sort of dangling a job in front of her when he knows that she's poor. She is poor, and she has recently been on the verge of eviction. So she's disabled. She's poor. She's on the verge of eviction. She used to work for this guy. And he's sort of vaguely offering her job back if she pleases him, okay? Then, the night that she gets revenge porned, okay, which is not her fault, somebody sends her nudes out on the internet. She decides to get drunk, and she doesn't drink. I believe she was drunk.
The same night this happened. Didn't happen the same night. It was 2 days later, 3 days later.
April.
No, this happened 2 days ago. This whole Keem happened 2 days ago.
The call was released 2 days ago. The call happened April 12th. Yeah. That's when her news got leaked.
Okay.
I believe it was I actually think her nudes got leaked April 11th, and the call happened the early morning of April 12th. I'm pretty sure. So
she sold them, so she wasn't too upset.
This was before This was before she was selling them. This had just happened that she got revenge porned. So she's trying to make sense of this. She's super upset that she got revenge porned. He knows she got revenge porned. She's drinking, and she doesn't drink because she's a victim.
She tweeted him out.
She
tweeted him out.
She did, but you have to keep
public.
Right. But you have to keep in mind here, the cognitive ability is not very high.
But she's not like not crippledly retarded.
Well,
she knows what she's doing.
I can show you a clip. I'm not sure that's true because think about it, Sly. Why on earth, if you're a victim of revenge porn, would you post your own nude unless you have some issues?
She said she wanted to own it. That's what she said. She said she wanted to own it.
Okay, but I think
she wanted to take power back. That's what she told me. Because listen, she sent me the link as soon as she posted it on Twitter. She sent it to me. I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "The first thing you want to do, maybe you should take this down."
I know. I said the same thing. But I think, I really think, if I could just delve into her psychology, I think she's been told her whole life, and she believes, like, I'm not gonna let my disability get the better of me. I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna be normal. I'm not gonna like lean into my disability. Okay, and I think she also applies that same rule when she gets abused or manipulated on the internet. So she gets her nudes leaked, and she's like, I fucking hate when people bully me and hurt me like this, so I'm gonna take my power back. Now, did she do it in a stupid way? I think she did, but keep in mind, Sly, she said that the reason she started that Patreon to sell her nudes is because her chat told her to. Now, somebody who's making a decision about entering into sex work based on their chat is not especially when they already have a cognitive disability, is not somebody who I think we can just say... She did see the money,
she saw the money. She saw that she needs it. She's been crying about she's getting evicted.
I agree.
She's been crying about she needs this. So she saw the money and said, "Oh, a bunch of my guys that I literally call simps, and they sit around in Discord with me for 12 hours a day. Oh, they want to pay for this. Oh, bet. Let me advertise it on Twitter, and then let me hawk it behind the scenes." I mean, it's. That's what I'm saying. The girl, she's even on Steve's talking about this as part of her plan, or marketing strategies. That's what she's calling it. That's why I get it. She has the fetal alcohol, but she's not crippling retarded. We know, we know somebody that's like that. She is really, mind's warped, right? She don't even...
Right.
Even walk,
I understand
right?
that. I understand that.
She can paint, she can talk, she's in the Discord, she's like... She can do.
She's not. But do you know the highest? Do you know, like, by Canadian legal standards? Do you know the highest IQ you can have to be considered mentally retarded, legally retarded?
But I thought she just said, no, I don't know that. But I thought it was because of her deaf. That's why she's disabled. It's not.
No,
a
no, no,
retard.
no. She
Or-
has.
I don't even.
Here, look. I'll show you a clip. 2 seconds. I'll show you a clip, and it'll explain it
She
to you.
has
Okay.
Send it to me, I'll play
She
it.
has.
It's. I can just share it on Discord if that's okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
It
It's fine.
should play.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like her being retarded and she doesn't know anything. She don't know any better because she
Okay.
knows what she's doing.
You're, I
it's
totally
like she's
understand
saying,
you
know what
coming
she-
from that point of view.
And in this, and listen, I don't have to like her to. If I didn't like her,
Mm-hmm.
or if I don't like her, and she's right, she's right. I'm not that type that's like she's always gonna be wrong because I don't rock with her. But I'm not. I know I've talked to her, and she's not as retarded as everyone's making it kind of sounding out to be. Like she's like this helpless, and I think it's only been pushed this much because people don't like Keemstar. Go ahead, play.
Okay. So this is her explaining it.
Which I'm part of that as well, by the way.
Okay.
She has fetal alcohol syndrome. They kept saying this, and that she will eventually say that she's retarded and you manipulated her into doing that.
First of all, I'm retarded. I can confirm that.
Wait, they're saying that Grace has fetal alcohol syndrome?
No, they were saying
I
that
did.
about
I did.
Linx.
Oh.
I have, yeah, I have
Nah,
fetal alcohol
no.
syndrome disorder, and it's severe, and it's essentially a form of brain damage. And legally, I am retarded. I've said this multiple times.
She has fetal alcohol.
Okay. So that's her. That's one clip of her explaining it.
Yep.
And I did ask her about it, and she does say that it impairs her cognitive ability. And I believe that what she's doing is essentially.
What time did you ask her though? Sorry to cut you off.
I
Did you ask
asked
after the
her-
nudes, or-
No, I asked her very recently because I asked her to retract what she said about me because I was like, I never said that to you.
Okay, so you needed her to do something and she was in the wrong, right? Now she calls.
No, but actually, it explained it to me because she said, she literally like did the meme. She said, "Oh, well, since you want to call me a retard, I'm just too retarded to know what I'm doing," which obviously shows the reason why she said that was because she feels offended by me just repeating her own medical status, which I understand is sensitive to her, but like I'm not using it as an insult. And I responded to that by saying, well, Linx, I genuinely do think you're impaired in this way, and I'm trying to help you. And she said, yes, I am cognitively impaired, but that doesn't mean I can't X, Y, Z. So
So
I
you
don't
know.
believe she uses it as an excuse to get out of things. I think that she actually tries to hide it, and I believe she's genuinely like a vulnerable person who like a poor, vulnerable person who got humiliated on the internet by getting revenge porn. That's certainly humiliating, and it wasn't her fault that actually happened. Selling the nudes afterwards, whatever. She got to this point, and her former employer is reaching out to her. He's been saying, maybe you could get a job back. You know, I'm thinking about it. He reaches out to her, and he asks her to show him her tits
Whoa,
and
whoa,
masturbate
hold
in
on.
front of her, in front of him.
Hold on. He DM'd her to say about Lord Rush. That's what the conversation was.
Yeah.
If you listen to the call, 6 times between the time when she offered and from the start, she had initiated sexual talk. She was doing it. He called it out once, and then she finally says, "Do you want me to show you and Brantley?" And he said, "Hold on, let me go." Never, not once in that 21st to 25 minutes did he ever say, "Take your clothes off." None of that. They were just talking. If you
Sure.
listen to the 4-hour call,
Sure.
he never said, she brought it up.
Sure.
6 times she insinuated or she'll do like, "Oh, I'm so free that I can walk out of my bedroom and have my tits out at the time." You know what you're doing. You're enticing.
Well,
the man
I
on
think
the
that's
phone.
because
There's
he-
no reason that story. Go ahead.
I think that's because he was showing sexual attention to her through the messages before the calls. He kept saying like, "Dude, those tits aren't real, right? They're like photoshopped, right? Prove it.
I mean,
Prove it. You
but
won't."
she's-
He initiated, Sly. He initiated. She may have been picking it up on it on the call.
No.
He initiated. He reached out to her. She said, "I've looked up to you." I went through the DMs. She goes, "I look up to you as a mentor. You know, I really appreciated working with you. I feel like you turned me into the creator I am, and I just wish I could get back in somehow. I feel so bad. I'm drinking. Like, I never drink because my mom drank, and obviously that's why I have this problem, and it's just so shitty that somebody leaked my stuff." And then he goes, "Well, you know, at least they were good
Allegedly
pictures. let me see them titties though. Like basically that's what he's saying. Like prove it, prove
He
that,
didn't basically
prove the
say
tits.
it. No,
You
I
know,
wouldn't
he
basically
said
say it.
prove
I
it.
wanna
He
say
said
what he
those
said,
tits.
though.
He said those tits are photoshopped, right? And she goes no, and he goes prove it. He started it, Sly.
But
He started it.
Nah.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, we can do it. He never mentioned it up until she offered it. She said, "You want me to show you in Brantley?" That's like
Maybe
6
on the
times she
call.
mentioned it.
Maybe on the call. I haven't
I'm
listened to the
saying.
whole call, but the DMs were
Oh,
before
yeah,
the
hey.
call. The DMs were before the call, and he initiated the
She said they
DMs.
came after. She said that today on Steve that those DMs were afterwards. She
Well,
said
there's
that it
no
was
way
after the
those
4-hour
DMs were
call.
afterwards because the
That's
DMs
what
are
she said. It was at
started.
1 a.m. The ones that were 1 a.m.
I don't remember
Or,
what the
not 1
timestamp
a.m.,
was.
Not 1 a.m. 1
It's-
p.m. I mean 1 p.m. I'm saying, because she says those DMs because she showed them and she said those came afterwards. If we're if we're
The
talking about
DMs
same
I'm
ones, that
talking
was
about,
after the call, 'cause it said missed call and then-
I believe
Yeah,
the
you'd
DMs
have
that
to pull
I'm
them up.
talking
You'd have
about.
to pull them up. Yeah.
I believe that the DMs I'm talking about are the ones where he reaches out to her about Lord Rush, then they start talking about it, then he goes, oh, those, like, at least it was a good picture, blah, 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 and then it leads to a call. So I don't know how it could be after the call, from what I saw.
Maybe we're talking about different ones then, because I'm talking the ones that she was showing. She said that this came after, and she was trying to prove the fact that he would not leave it alone. And again, but it came afterwards. You already did all the things in the call. You already did all that. I'm just not letting this whole Keem is this terrible, and then the power dynamic thing. There is nothing. There was no. She didn't work for him. That was over with. She's not working for him. She didn't want to work for him. She's told
true.
me 19,000 times, and I'm not going. To be honest, we can. We're not gonna get bogged down in the drinking thing. But the way she said she drank a half bottle for a girl that's never drank before, don't think she's even gonna be able to do any of what she was talking about. But we've all drank before. I can't see an 80-pound girl drinking a half bottle of whiskey is gonna be able to work a phone talk, take wigs, take this, do all that, and talk perfectly fine. I'm not with that. I don't believe that one. I think that's another excuse. But that's besides the point. I can't prove it. Nobody can prove that. All I know is the girl's probably weighs maybe 100 pounds, and she said she drank a half bottle. I mean. Keem was shocked at how much she drank in that. That's all. I can't prove anything. All I can say is that doesn't make sense. Math ain't mathing. Your first time drinking. I don't know how you, unless you're just god tier at drinking. But besides that,
Sly, I don't deny to you that Linx lies about stuff. I don't deny that. Like, she lied about me. She's lied about lots of things. She lies about things that don't even make sense. But my point is more so, like let me give you another example, okay? Because I think you're just not seeing the larger picture here. I'm not denying that Linx lies about shit. She does, but I think the reasoning for it is a little more off than you're thinking. I don't think this is just for personal enrichment, because the decisions she makes don't really make sense even for her. So here, let me give you an example. She challenged me to a boxing match, okay? Do you think it would be a good idea for me to accept a mentally retarded 80-pound fetal alcohol syndrome girls challenge to a boxing match?
Not for you, but her. She's the clout guy. I mean, she'll do anything for it.
Okay, but
She
why
wants
would
the
it be
attention.
a bad idea for me to accept that challenge and box her? Why?
Oh, a bad idea? I mean,
Yeah.
it would be like, it's not even a I mean, she's like 60 pounds. I mean,
Right,
you'd
and
kill
she's
her
like
at drinking.
5'2".
I would
I'd
assume.
kill her, right? I'd kill her.
Yeah, But
The
I'm not
the
saying
last
that
thing,
she's
the last.
retarded.
Let me just play out this analogy. The last thing you want to do with somebody who has a brain damaged, like, mental disability is get them in the boxing ring, right? Especially with a 5'10", 160-pound opponent. That's not going to be a good idea, right? So, if
I'm
if
not
you
using it, but
if you don't think it would be
no one brought
like
the-
if
Go
you
ahead.
don't think
Go ahead.
so I'm aware of everything about her just like Keemstar was. He probably knew more about her than I do even right now when he had this call with her, right? If you don't think it would be a good idea for me to have a friendly boxing match with her because I might seriously injure her, how can you say it's okay for Keemstar to engage in sexual activity with her over the phone with a vague promise of a job coming up? Don't you think that sexuality
one's violent
is
and one's not. But
well,
like,
I mean, but
you're not
like
gonna dive over a a goon session.
Right, but I'm saying you're saying she's you're saying she's not really competent to have a friendly boxing match with me. How is she competent? And you're
I
you're
didn't say
saying
competent. I said size difference. You would kill her.
it's
that way.
just
I'm
the
saying you
size
guys are
difference?
different.
It's just the size difference?
I'm not thinking retarded. I'm saying she's just a frail girl.
It has nothing to do with her being legally retarded.
No, because I don't think she's as retarded as it's now being played up as because people don't like Keem. You got to look at who is saying it.
Okay, so then do you think she's
I'm going to keep bringing this up because I hate Keemstar. I mean, a lot of these people are hammering this retard angle up because they don't like Keem.
Okay.
Now, I don't either.
Would you box a legally retarded guy?
Well, it depends. That depends. No, I'm just kidding. What do you mean, bro? Okay,
Would you?
When I hear retarded, I'm saying helmet, short bust, drooling on the window retard.
Yeah, that's but that's
no, I'm not gonna beat up.
Not every person who, like, what I'm saying is I'm making the case that she has genuine issues making decisions and like understanding all of the implications and social elements of the internet, of sexuality, of manipulation, etc. Not like somebody on the short bus like you're describing, but in between that. Like, I'm saying you wouldn't box a Down syndrome person. I'm saying she's closer to Down syndrome than she is to fully functional. And from her own words,
Come on.
you gotta, because not all mentally disabled people are drooling. You're thinking of it a certain way. They're not all.
Down syndrome. She's the closest thing to normal. She is literally like, if this was. Have you heard
her describe her growing up? She can't write. She can't write. She can't drive. She used to have special classes. She was taught how to fit in with other kids. She is legally considered retarded by the government of Canada. These are not small things. These are not small things. I'm not saying it just because I hate Keemstar. I called Linx out and I said, you're a slut, you're a hoe, blah, blah, blah. You do this shit with Keem. You're selling your Patreon stuff. Like, this is ironically the most retarded thing you could do if you get revenge porn, right? But then I heard her talk about it and I'm like, okay, like, just my opinion is this is legitimately a girl with problems who should be genuinely protected. And you know, or at least my people know, I will call a hoe out when she's being a hoe. I don't fucking care. But in this situation, I do think it's different, and you can't just say you're being a slut, a lying hoe, blah, 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 all females are retarded. Like, no, this one, like, genuinely is. And we should give her some grace because of that. It's not fair. In my opinion.
I don't think if you want to, that's fine. She knew enough. She was smart enough to know an opportunity was right there, and she was bragging to me how much money she was making off it, and she has been happy when she's been telling everybody and their mama she's made 6,000 and 5 and 2.
Yes,
she knows
yes.
what she's doing.
Sly.
That's not a
children.
A confused soul.
Sly.
She's not a child.
I'm not saying she's a child. I'm making an analogy. People can get excited about things and think that they're winning when they're actually getting manipulated into, like, abuse, like, humiliating themselves. Yes, she's not ashamed because she's trying to do this thing where she's a bad bitch, and I get it, but, like, okay, let me ask you another question. Let's say you're running a business, okay? Let's say you're in Keemstar's position. Would you ever consider telling your ex-employee who's legally retarded to take her shirt off and masturbate in front of you? Would you ever consider that?
Okay, well, first of all, everything that Keem did in that call, I would never do, so we don't even have to. Forget the retard angle. Nothing he did in there I'm ever doing with a random. No. So, no. So, know what I... Well,
but she's not a rando. She's not a rando. Your mic just cut out for me. King. But she's not a rando. She's not rando. Hello? Your mic just cut out for me. What is going on? Hello? Hello? Your mic's going crazy. Is it me? What is going on? Hello? Delayed echo.
You're crazy. See?
Chat, am I coming through for you? Hello? Hello? Okay, I'm live on Kick. Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna restart the Discord. Okay. Let's just rejoin the. What is this sound coming from? There's a loop back somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Alright, Emberton 2. Open Discord. Get rid of Siri. Okay. Alright, are we back?
Grace! You're
Sorry
back.
about that. I don't know what the hell
It's all
happened.
good. Hold on. There you are. All right. Yeah. So the third question. Yeah. Look. I feel like we'll probably use the call be a concern because we're just not. We're just.
Yeah,
gonna,
that's
we have
fine.
to agree
That's
to
fine.
Disagree because I know it's hard for me not to say because of the situation you need in this situation right now came to be a demon, right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You need him because of what we're going to talk about next. But I don't want to just say, oh, I'm just going to throw my hands because she's retired and we'll just let her run rampant. Also, she came in here after she sent that thing to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she talked to her, maybe, girl, and said, oh, I forgot you existed because I'm busy, so I don't know.
Her
And then
maybe
walked it
girl?
right
What does
back,
that mean?
because they've had conversations. She knows who she is. She's had conversations with her. She's spoken with her because we've already had a talk before. She's not stupid. She knew she was taking a shot. She knew she was being ignorant. She knew what she was doing, and she apologized for doing it at the time. She's not as slow as everyone's painting her out to be, or I wouldn't have spoken to her in the beginning. I wouldn't have. She knows what she's saying. She knows what she's doing. She's not. That's a good point. She said that her fetal alcohol messed her ears up and trust issues. Not can I sell and get away with this? She knows what she's doing. How can everybody say that she's like a conniving person behind the scenes if she's so retarded? How many people are getting duped and tricked by this girl if she's just drooling everywhere? That's what I'm saying. If she's closest thing to Down syndrome, as you would say, how is she manipulating half the planet? This is like Rain Man levels of retarded. I mean, this is crazy. Then we might be retarded then, because she's got
You might want to get that checked out.
700 people, huh?
You might want to get that checked out. There are tests, Sly. You can take them.
What? I'm not retarded. There's 700 people that are all rocking, side with her. I mean, some of them are Sims, obviously, but she's tricked Keem. She's tricked. She's got you fooled. I'm sorry. She's got you. She had me think. She got me to think that she was like a poor soul, but as soon as she had the opportunity to make some money, that went out the window. She's not. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
she's not
we can move on.
people are saying.
We'll agree to disagree. It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
You're entitled to your
sorry.
opinion.
I can't do it. I can't give her that.
There's no need
And
to
if
be
she
sorry.
wants-
I completely understand. I used to come from that point of view, but I just think you're wrong. But whatever.
Want me to take the autism test? No. Oh, no, I'm not taking the autism test. I can't give it to her. I can't. And if she was, I would sit here and be like, yeah, she's pretty retarded. I would understand this. I feel like, I don't know. All right, so let's talk, since we brought the Keemstar thing situation. So you are suing Keemstar.
I am suing Keemstar in the Western District Court of New York State for tortious interference. That's correct.
For torturous interference. Wait,
Tortious.
where's the court, you said?
Tortious. I'm not sure the exact court, but it's going to be in the Western